Facebook Live and YouTube Live, welcome. Please share this video out and invite. I am streaming, and you know that we do things in our own style and grace in order to raise vibration. So I'm just inviting. I'm going to expect you all to invite too. Please do that. I don't want to get distracted, but we have lots to discuss. And discussing this will raise the bar, but in our own style and grace and in the humanity of the Sacred Heart. You notice how I said in the humanity of the Sacred Heart. I expect you all, along with myself, to be open-minded and know that we're all in this together, and worldwide we're affected. And where does God come in? Where does self come in? Whereas does the song of the soul come in? Shabbat Shalom. Peace be with you. The Sabbath is here. It's a time for understanding. So wherever you are and however you perceive yourself to be, globally and across the board, humanity has a lot of questions that they're asking themselves. Myself along with you. And before we go any further, all of us, all the people of the world who are keeping it together, who are searching and who are empathizing and understanding in these very difficult but elating times, we're going to discuss on a very human and divine level. This video will be graphic. It will be for you to decide really where you are, what you're facing, how you want to perceive, and where we are all going. So give me a minute. I am definitely sharing out. I am definitely Facebook centered. I definitely have been warned not to speak, but I choose to defy that because the very fabric that is woven throughout humanity is at stake. So peace, rock out, please share this out. I pondered this for many days before coming on, and as I pondered this, I was faced with things before me. I see the thread, how it's going. I am one amongst yous, and I am understanding more about sovereignty. Hello, everybody. How are you? And this piece that is going to be discussed tonight is a mitzvah. It's a morning. It's an awakening of your mind, heart, and soul. And it's time for us to understand that these great debates that we have are taking on a new significance. So where do I begin? Wherever I begin, someone is going to be triggered. And I understand that because I was also triggered. And as I was triggered, I had very deep revelations of what I should believe, what came into my heart, how I love God, how I understand why the mitzvah, why the blessing, why the Shabbat, why the calling out to God, why the thanks is very important right now as we raise the energy. And please share this out, please invite. But I don't want to mince words because mincing words leaves confusion. And I'm not here to tell you what you should do because your own mind's eye and your own mind's heart should be able to guide you back to God. But I'm going to tell you a few things that I've discovered on my own journey. And as I discovered them and as I came into homage of what God is, I will share that with you. Many people will choose to ignore what's in front of them, and that's fine too. But the song of the soul of the heart, what we are as divine beings, there is no time for distractions now. There is time for truth. There is time for choice. So we all are very concerned about the coronavirus, and we all know because we're all talking on many levels, and I mean street level, blue collar level, upper echelon level, and elite level. We all know this, right? Because people are talking, people are putting together the pieces. And how do we raise our voice that has been quilled, and how do we become unquilled in a society that has committed horrific acts? There's no easy answer to that, and I'm not here to tell you how to do that, but I am here, along with many, to raise this discussion. So we've been hit with a coronavirus that is neochemical induced, and we understand where the trail comes with that, and that's one invisible enemy that we are fighting. But how does humanity come together when we're still at debates with one another, when we still think we have the answers? And this is a difficult video for me, so much so that I had to have a glass of wine before I decided to go on air, because I'm human as well as divine. And as we are fighting that invisible enemy that has come upon mankind, that is a plague, so to speak, we are fighting many other enemies. And one of the most horrific things that we have to face as human beings, and please share this out, please invite, is what is to come. And it started with Pizzagate, and it started with a paper trail, and it started with us putting our divine faith in higher monarchies. It started with us being dazzled by entertainment. And now not only are we quilled, we will have to face and understand about human trafficking, adrenochrome, a slave breeding ground that we compare to a dog mill that is run at its lowest quality, to human beings being addicted to this blood. To understand what's really going on, as we look at one another and as we say, no more. It's being quilled because people can't handle it, and I get that. But also, it's being introduced because we can't deny Epstein and Weinstein and the royals that suddenly have the coronavirus, the celebrities that are keeping very quiet. They didn't keep quiet with AIDS, did they? They certainly didn't keep quiet with AIDS. They certainly didn't go into a state of hibernation like they have now. And when you look at these horrific pictures, you can't help but come together. By the way, my people in the UK that are listening, my people that are abroad, your Queen Elizabeth is going on air on Sunday to speak about the pandemic and how it's affected her. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, what nerve? Because actually what should be open-ended is that people should be able to ask her the very questions that are on their minds. not with disrespect, but hey, we're giving you the opportunity. Not that we need, or the world needs her advice on COVID-19. She knows nothing more than what has been, what has been given to the general population. She wants her image to be saved. She wants to reel people in, raise the questions, make her uncomfortable, show the intelligence that's behind the awakened people, because this is a big issue. So I asked my brothers and sisters who are on their feed, this feed, and so far it's 30. All of us that have suffered trauma, preached love, looked for God, understood where we are coming from. And that's deep. Because if I'm honest with each and every one of you, and you're honest with yourself, I could turn around and say in discussion, when the debates are over, and you that are an adult now, go back to your childhood where you were traumatized, and understand that pain as an adult on a level that is low level compared to what we are going to witness. And I have no choice but to say it like that because it's the truth. I have no choice but to understand what the collective consciousness is because it's the truth. I'm not interested in no debate because it is the children that we will witness that will have humanity come together. I don't know no other way to say it. Because I speak to people on all levels about this and I follow a trail. And the truth of the matter is that even the most colorful people I know, and I say colorful because they will drop a kick if they need to an adult, have a heart for children, and that's a no-go. Do you realize what these traffic mills do? Do you realize people are bought into pain to satisfy a black market that is out of control? Your love and your light and your inspiration of soul will absolutely mean nothing if you do not unite. We speak of agendas, we speak of a collective consciousness, we speak of a loop, we speak of who to trust. That's an old scenario. Maybe all those people that are talking can't be trusted. China is threatening the United States. The Emiratis are in a frenzy. Russia is playing a chess game. Trump is holding his own. But when you think about the coronavirus and what's really happening, and if you understand in your immediate circles, there's more people that are maintaining that are dying, and that yes, these casualties are happening, but, right, as they are happening, what is also occurring is that people are putting the puzzles together. Not only does China eat aborted feces, many of the American celebrities endorse products for youthfulness that are made with fetuses. We know how to treat ourselves. We know how to prevent this invisible enemy from invading us. Understand the bigger picture and give some credit where credit is due, whether you like a person or not, is something that we should be aware of. And I say we should be aware of that only because of the fact is that now we have to come up and say, look, our voices have been quilled. We actually were part of that because we were fearful. But this is the way we live, and we support you because we are not supporting people who manufacture human beings. When you actually see what's happening, all the eyes, all the personal agendas, all the know-it-alls and epiphanies and memes and book sayings and all that will mean fucking nothing. Because then you will see what we have done to humanity for the elite and for everyday people, because it's not only the elite. The elite are at the top, but it is actually a pyramid. And it starts on many different levels. It starts underground to overground to overlapping. And it is a drug. And it's not only about love and light, because to get to love and light, what will happen is the healers will need to step forth. The medicine makers will need to come forward. The singularity of agenda needs to go as we proclaim the victory. And what is the victory? It's a bittersweet victory, because it's actually a victory that will make us look at one another. And boy, are we going to look at one another. Because all that he said, she said, I know, I'm God. This is how it goes down. I'm standing back is BS. Because each and every one of us asks the same question. Why am I here? What happened? How can we abate it? What are we going to do? It's the 0 point, and we're scared as fucking shit, and you're so afraid to say it. I get that. That's not in any shame. It's just a matter of fact. I was afraid at one time too. Humble yourselves. It's not just fascinating and interesting to see what's going on. It's raw reality. It's a chance for a great awakening to be understood, uplifted, recognized, and participated in. So, as serious as I am, I mitzvah every day these days. I give thanks. I praise God. Because through this horrific time, I am divinely blessed. Things do happen to make it work. I have found my true tribe in many areas, as well as disengaged from the fake tribe. Because, a question was raised today, or an answer was raised to what I've been posting, or a comment, etc., so on, discussion. And it was like, I'm looking at the collective consciousness because I'm ready with a pure heart, and I don't know exactly what the agendas are. And that was from my beloved Sevi. And I understood that. And I answered, what I have found on this journey, the old collective is just a loop. I found that the collective are a group of people that no matter how much they differ, their heart is in the place of God, and they simply know what to do as they have to do it. And as they have to do it, we understand. So that old loop of who's doing what and who's this and who's the God, that's tiring. People, we're arrogant and we're ignorant. But when we look at those little babies, that their lifespans are 2 to 4 years of age, or maybe 10, or the breeding mothers are good for 10 consecutive years, and then they're toasted. And all they know is pain. because a sick bunch of satanic fucks have capitalized on children. They take their blood at their most terrorized, heightened emotion, and they sell it to the highest bidders. And here we are, vegans and promoters of the earth, or people who are for love and light, and it's right before us. So I ask you, we are here to connect with the tribe at this time. It doesn't matter if you're Black, white, Indian, Arabic, Turkish, Eastern European, etc., so on, how it goes, you are affected. And it's happening, and we have the evidence. And you will have to choose, because when you see the deformities and you see what happens, it is not only on the elite, although they should be eradicated. Now, I want to be very clear about something that I have learned about truth and unity and how it's going down. I mix with God every day. As much as I raise the issues of truth, I am also divinely blessed that God has guided me through this great witness. But this type of evil is not evil that could be forgiven. They must be eradicated. I have no qualms. Because when you see what they do to the newborn and the innocent, all your books, all your memes, all your illusions, all your fucking indecisive revelations will mean nothing. Because you will move. So it's the very children that will either make or break the work that we do. Because the enlightened children, the enlightened chosen, who have suffered trauma and are moved to speak now on a very, I'm going to call it superficial level, even though it's very deep, will have to align with those children, those people, those lizard motherfuckers who take life away. There's no other way to say it. And as divine as I am, I will not hesitate to eradicate, because that is just something that tips the iceberg. But we have to rise up. So how do we rise up? So the Queen of England is going on air on Sunday. I don't know how it's going to go down, if it's going to be on your tellies, if it's going to be on internet. Everything is internet. But I'm sure there's comments. If enough people raise the comments, and if enough people in the comments raise the questions of what we are debating and what we want to know, and say, look, this is not accusing you. These are the allegations. We are giving you the opportunity to speak for yourself. We have consistent numbers that show these allegations have truth behind it. As we rise up, as we raise this voice, we want you to speak for yourself before we decide how we are going to treat you. And make no mistake, they must be treated in a manner that we never forget what happens. Look, with the coronavirus in itself and people being on a severe lockdown, quilled, many things are transpiring. So yes, We are fighting the coronavirus, but there's an underground system in the United States, in New York City, that's being cleaned up. And if you follow the thread and you understand how to separate the fakeness from the truth and what's being said and what's not being said and how all this is projected in one area, you will realize that there's more people than not that know what's going on and that's talking, and they are educated. Nicole has been censored from here in my video. Okay? And she has to sign off due to censorship. What is going on here? We have to rise up. We have to break the frequency. So I was thinking about all this, and I was thinking about the light workers out there and the people who practice sound and hertzes and coming together. Do you ever stop to think that once you are faced with this and you can no longer, out of mind, out of sight, that your very, very heart emotional thrust will allow you to break the frequency? We talk about Trump, we talk about this one, we talk about that one, we talk about A, B, and C, but you know what? Anyone who has the moxie to step forward is somebody that we should get our voice out to and say, hey, look, we got you, we understand you, but this is what we represent. And for so long, we have been misunderstood. And as we have been misunderstood, we want you to know that we are following this. We want to be at service. But this is what we want in all reality. This is what we want to be heard. We are tribes. You don't want to go back to sleep, do you? Yes, I know my numbers go up and down. I know I'm being censored. Yes, 5G is going up. But if we follow this, we actually can. Look, guys, this is the bottom line. We have to be commandos in our own right. Again, remember when I said that you have to act accordingly? Faith over feeling, God over man, wisdom over no common sense. That's exactly what's happening right now, right in front of your faces. We must get connected. It is our birthright. Doesn't matter where you come from, east, west, north, south. What matters is that there's a great awakening. So like everything that we have been preaching, or everything that we have been following, or everything that we have been digesting on a negative perspective, it's out, guys. They actually, they worship Satan. It's in your face. It's not hitting. It's still veiled for those who don't want to believe it, because that's very hard to digest. You'll come together in tears because you'll relate it to your own traumas, and you'll vamp it up 100 times. You must stay connected. You mustn't go down without a fight. We must infiltrate the internet so we could be noticed. We must not act out of ignorance. We must stop with the ridiculousness of getting home in so many layers, because those questions right now are always going to be there. But the immediate problem is what's here, protecting one another. I see so much social distancing. I see so much people that are enlightened, absorbed by the coronavirus. Hey, guys, we are understanding what's happening. We are also understanding our vessels, what we can do. Who do we actually know dying from it? Who's actually dying from it? Who's actually being taken care of in trauma situations? Get real. Child trafficking is a fucking epidemic, and it's got to stop. Stand up for the children. Stop telling me how pure of heart you are when none of us are pure of heart. We're getting there. We're trying. Don't tell me how you only have it right when none of us have it right. Tell me, look, we're in a pickle and we have to get out of it. Tell me, look, we are thankful because God is sustaining us through this havoc. Tell me you don't condone evil. Tell me you're not turning a cheek no more. Because I could take every other thing. I cannot take what's going on personally. I don't care what you all do to the children. Get real. It's happening. And these people that we pay homage for, I could actually decapitate it. I mean, you know, people are so blinded because they still want to go. But these people are our leaders. Are you fucking crazy? Where are they leading you? Down to the abyss? And then you want to be so disrespectful to a president that you might not like, but he's actually cleaning up shop. That doesn't mean we give him our alliance. That does mean we watch and we say, hey, look, we have things that we want to discuss. Know the difference. Know the difference of who you are. Stand up to the plate. Don't only go on the people who could promise you salvation when salvation is in your heart and it comes from self. Don't only be blindly led to the abyss. We're all human doing our own thing, doing a job. Get it right now because God is calling you to get it right or step off the grid. Doesn't matter anymore who's got what, who's God, who's this, that, all that is bullshit. What matters now is that we come together because our hearts are going to be so open, tendered, that we have to speak a real truth. Share this out, invite. I'll talk more over the weekend. I don't feel like talking no more. Stand up and fight for the justice of the children as you step in your sovereignty, because you will not get another chance for a long time. Understand who God is, because we sure fucking gave a lot of attention to Lucifer. They kill. They terrorize kids. They keep them alive just long enough to sacrilegiously feast on them. And if you don't think it exists, follow the trail. It exists. It's out there. Sealed indictments, fucking corruption from all sides of the party, royals having a good old time, nobody giving a fuck about nobody, and feasting off the children because they think it's okay. As they want to take over the world in a new world order and affect us with neochemicals that fuck us up. Choose the truth. Choose God. Choose your heart. You'll know exactly what to do. Some things are a little baptism by fire, but you can handle it. Peace out, rock out, share out. Y'all are amazing. But in order to be amazing, we have to unify and be able to have these conversations